What's going on, everybody? It's your boy C-Zar, and today we'll be talking about Zcash. It is the 19th day of June, and here we are sitting at about $458 with roughly 2 days, and it says 11 hours. It's more like 2 days and 10 hours left in this week. Hit that like button, subscribe. Thank you all for being here, and let's get into it. I actually do want to start off on the weekly time frame just to show you where we are. Right, look at Zcash, and after a very long time of coming down and rounding out your bottom and having this phenomenal move up. This is why rounded bottoms are so powerful, by the way, guys. It takes a long time. It's the weekly time frame, so I mean from June of 2022 to August of 2025. It took a long time, years. But man, that payoff was intense. If you put your year's worth of money into this thing, man, you made a lot of money in a very short amount of time there once it was all said and done. I'm getting distracted. The main thing that I'm trying to show is that we have this expansive move here, and now we're showing what looks to be a double top with a potential M shape. If this is an M, if it is a double top, the idea would be that we do go back down most of the way. Typically, M's either go very near or below where they started. Typically, they do. So, this is not the all-time history, but maybe if we pull up something with the all, I want to keep it on the Coinbase chart just for the volume's sake. But I would look for another M. I just don't have an example of it here. Maybe we'll see one in the short-term stuff. But let's zoom in a little bit and just see here how this week we actually wicked all the way up to this area, the shelf of prior support where we were having closing and opening support here, and also where we had closing resistance here. That's where this week wicked up to and rejected. We came all the way down. This is a very bearish look on a weekly time frame. If this is a 1 hour time frame, a 4 hour time frame, maybe even a daily time frame, it's not as significant, but the weekly time frame, man, getting this kind of look, it's not typically a good thing. Now, we did see this happen down here. You had a pretty bearish looking candle, 2 of them in a row down here, and then what'd you do? You moved up. So it's not condemning. Anything can happen at any time. But this candle reminds me of this candle, reminds me of this candle. We saw some significant movement down both of those times. Just because we didn't here doesn't mean that we're going to move up right now. Let's look at the short-term stuff. We'll zoom back out afterwards, okay? Looking at this here on the 1 hour time frame, getting a little bit of green, looking like you want to move up. That's nice. It's all good and dandy, but you've also got lower lows and lower highs coming in here, okay? Not impressed yet. A little bit of volume. We had a little bit of volume at various times here. Not impressed. 1 hour time frame, the RSI is starting to turn around. Okay, this is not bad, right? Lower highs, lower lows, but you're taking your trend and you're turning it, right? You're kind of forming a sideways trend, and now you're looking like you want to move up. That's nice. You're probably not just going to do this all at once like it was on the way down. It will probably be on the way up, but yeah, you look pretty good. Stochastics are getting toward the overbought zone. The MACD is building bullish momentum here. I liked it up until the MACD because you're killing your bearish momentum. You're building bullish momentum, and what have you done? You've just moved sideways. You got volume, and you've just moved sideways. You're still in this trend overall. I don't necessarily like it. I mean, in the context of this, your RSI here is at the same levels it rejected before. You've got higher highs in your RSI while maintaining lower highs in the price. You know what I mean? It's not something to be happy and ecstatic about. Bitcoin's moving up right now. That's nice. Zcash, 4 hour time frame. The RSI bounced off the oversold zone. That is a good thing. Getting overbought, bouncing off the oversold zone is a nice thing here. You want to get back above the 50. I don't know if you do. Stochastics have been oversold for a little while, and the MACD is actually right at an area where you might expect it to bounce. So there is some hope here. The hope for me is largely predicated on the fact that typically you don't see the oversold levels and the stochastics persist much longer than this, right? Like, you don't stay overbought for this long. You had times where you got a little volatile in between. You don't stay oversold for a terribly long. You can. Who's to say that you don't stay oversold for a dramatically longer effect? And here, when we were oversold, we didn't stay oversold this whole time. We got in and out of it. But in that in and out, it looked like momentarily we broke out of our trend here. We broke out, but then we kept going down. And then here, momentarily, we broke out of that trend, but then we kept going down. Maybe here we're going to see something like that, where we break out of this trend, we come back up, we find resistance at prior points of support, prior points of resistance, but then we come back down. I could really see that happening here because, again, the RSI, even though it's somewhat strong overall, you're in a weak position. Stochastics are definitely showing weakness. And the MACD, maybe you get a false bounce, a false cross here, but then you cross below inevitably. I could really see that happen. So I would expect, and I am calling for this right now, being at 454, that Zcash moves up. Zcash moves up probably to this area of prior resistance where you found a little bit of support and resistance here, 475. Let's throw a fib on there and see if there's anything around that area to refine this. Look at that, right at the 382. It's perfect. It's perfect. You're below the 236. This is a very tradable point for Zcash. Not financial advice, not a financial advisor, but you get in here, it's about a 5% move up. That's decent. A lot of people in crypto, 5% is nothing. You want 500%. You want 50% moves. You take enough 5% moves, and there's 5% moves every damn day, sometimes every hour in crypto. Take those consistent small gains. It's better than waiting for the big ones to come. If you don't know what I mean, let me put it in a different phrase. How many of you have been trading or investing based on the waiting for large moves? Oftentimes, it doesn't work out. Right? Oftentimes it doesn't work out. Sometimes it does, and the payout's great. Like with Zcash, for example, if you stacked for years, if you have really truly long-term expectations and goals in mind, and you stack at the appropriate times, it does work out. But if you're talking about trading short-term stuff, waiting for those big moves, it's like rolling the dice. It's a little bit like gambling. We're taking these consistent small gains. They hand them out, man. It's like a buffet. It happens all the time. So, anyways, 5% gains there. That's not bad. And if you throw some leverage on there, it's even a little bit better versus, the potential risk of like 3% loss. It's not the best risk to reward, to be fair. I don't know if I'd want to trade that. But still, I believe that Zcash will at least move up to 477, maybe move up to $508, somewhere in this range. You'll probably move up, find some resistance, and then come back down, continuing to go lower. That'd be my suspicion. The reason why I have that suspicion, of course, is this overall M shape that we have on the price action here. So I do suspect that we're going to go lower. You did find resistance right here at prior support. We look at this here, high to low. Yes, you've moved up a good bit. You've moved up a tremendous amount from your low. You saw a massive recovery after this dump. But the thing is, and I said this here, I said this here, I'm saying it now. And actually what I said both of these times was the price probably goes up. We probably find resistance here. And that's great. That's a nice move. But I doubt that selling pressure like this comes in and then you come back up. I doubt it. I highly doubt it. This is reminiscent of like the 10th of October. You see this kind of stuff happen, and it might take a second, but over time, you will go lower. This is a signal of weaker stuff to happen. And if you go lower than this, I mean, you're really near here. At that point, we're really making this M shape come to life. And I think in time, Zcash will be below this low. And because I believe that, because of that belief, from a low point here to a high point here, my suspicion, hold on, from a low point here to a high point here, $129 to $82, that would be our target area. $129 to $82 would be our target area. We're at $453 now, guys. It's not going to happen like this. That pace, that was a warning sign. It's not going to happen like that. It's going to be volatile. There's going to be moments where you get excited. It's going to happen. And then all of a sudden, before it's too late, then boom, then it'll happen. Whenever it's like, oh, now I get it. It's too late. It's too late. All the opportunity to sell is really right now. But I do expect that we move up a little bit. We'll probably move up to this $475, $508 area. Maybe we do get above $500 one last time, but we're likely going to go lower. That's my expectation. So I've got nothing else for you guys. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, hit the like button. Thank you all for being here. I'll see you on the next one. Take care of yourselves. Bye-bye.